Welcome back to the second update of my ship here. This is 11 days into SHIPtember. If you want to know a little bit more about that and what's going on, make sure to check out the first update, which was a little bit long, so I'm going to try and keep this one on the short side. And if we're going to do that, we should get right into this so I can start talking about what I did in the last week when building this ship, and basically everything that I have done and I have to present to you here today, and how it's all going and all that great stuff. So I'm going to assume that a lot of people looking at this, not really myself because I've spent so much time on it, but are gonna look at this and it's not gonna look like too much progress from the last week. But realistically, it really was, because the entire last week was essentially, there's a couple new things here, but basically everything here is like some stuff got torn out and redesigned, or just rethought out everything, or restructured some stuff that isn't even visible anymore, or a lot of other things are just like slowly being prototyped so that I can start putting them, or I can, mass produce them to all the other places that they have to go, and I can make sure that I'm, doing it right and stuff. Some of those, some of these things right here, so that I can start this, or finish off this panel and then do the other side, require a couple more parts. So I made some Bricklink orders earlier today that are all paid for and everything, so those should be coming in pretty soon. I'll hopefully be able to unbox those in the next update and use them also, so that we can start making some good progress on the ship, because at my current rate, I think I'm not going to be able to finish in time, which is a huge problem. Basically because I didn't get, not getting enough progress done during the week is going to result in, or if I get as little progress as I got done in the last week, done in the next few coming weeks, all the way up until the end of September, this ship is not going to get finished. So I need to work a little bit harder coming up to just finish off certain things. Basically everything with this ship right now is, I know exactly what's going to happen, I just don't know exactly how to do it. So I can kind of just go through every little thing and then explain where that's at and what's got to get done. So I'm going to start right here up at the front with this railgun thing, which kind of is going to be the front of the ship, so I want it to look pretty cool. I redesigned it. You can see the old one sort of broken up right here. The old one I did kind of like, but it was pretty delicate, honestly, because it's got these two, it's got studs on top and studs on top right there, and it's only connected by these lightsaber hilts on both ends, so it's super delicate and didn't have really that much attachment to the actual body of the ship. So I redesigned it to be a little bit slimmer and have some cool texture on it. I might have overdone it with the texture, but I'm not going to worry about it. And then it's also just a lot stronger and stuff, made out of just solid bricks going in one direction, and have a lot of connections from these plates and brackets and stuff right here. And then it's also, I like the shape of these a lot more, if you can see, and they're also just a little bit longer, which is cool, because that just extends the overall length of the ship, and why not, if you're gonna try and make it as long as you possibly can. Speaking of which, this ship is right now, I'm going to go a little off topic a little bit, is right now just about 134 studs, I think, I measured. It might be, give or take a few, but that's where I'm at right now. This strip right here, which you can see where it begins right here on the ship, and goes down to about here, is 100 studs. So there's going to be a little bit more that comes off. This is the very front of the ship, I know that. Back here, I don't know how much more is going to come off. I do know that there's going to be thrusters that come out, and I think I'm going to be approaching just about 150 studs in length, which is going to be kind of insane, because it's already really long, and it's going to end up being also pretty wide once I get these big wings in, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So yeah, I added just some random greebling to this thing just to make it look kind of cool. I just wanted to get it done. I'm not gonna think about this too much, because it's not gonna get seen once this big panel is on, which I'm gonna try and put on right now, just get it on there and make it stable, so that I can talk about it a little bit. I don't like to leave it on because it already weighs a whole bunch, and when it's done, it's gonna weigh even more. And I don't have the other side yet. I'm not starting the other side until again those orders come in, and it's like super off balance. You know, it wants to fall over, which of course is bad. It's fallen over a couple times, and it doesn't really break. If it were to break, it'd probably only be like a couple minutes of repair, but of course you don't want that. That's why you want to make it as strong as possible, and as you want to just get as many possible strong connections as you can. Once there's other things on here, I doubt that it's going to be as easy of a repair if it does ever fall off these Pick-a-Brick cups, but let's not worry about that right now. I'm going to go put this panel on. So I got this thing kind of just barely balancing on this little lip on the cup. This will do for the time being while I show it to you on video. Not much has really been added, basically just some changes here and there. Like I'm starting to sort this thing out. This has to go all the way down, but it's going to cover some other things that are going to be basically embedded into this panel. It's essentially, I think what I want is just two more of these stripes that are at an angle right here. This is like the light bright yellow color and lime, which I think looks pretty cool. Looks okay for, you know, friends and stuff, which is, I need to get more friends colors in here. My plan right now is to get like some greebles in this middle section and back here, give that friends vibe. Yeah, so once this is finished, once I get these other two stripes designed and I fill all this in with bricks, and then I get this stripe down, I just need to cap it off at the end and mirror it so that I can go on the other side, and I think that that's going to look really cool once it's on there. I'm really excited to see what that even looks like, and I'm excited to know how much it weighs, because with this panel that isn't even done, it starts to weigh quite a bit near the front, because this is just I guess like these two wide bricks all the way down, just a big snot panel. Yeah, so now we can move on to the back, which didn't have too much the last time. There was like just a little light frame that went kind of near back here, I think. Actually, maybe not even this far back. And just like this awkward snot panel near the bottom, which I didn't have a lot of a plan for, but this is a lot better now. So I kind of built up just a big solid frame around here so that I had the exact size and everything, and it just kind of turned into a big block. Because there's a lot of things in here that need to be basically just really well locked into the entire design of the ship. Starting with, actually I'll get to this in a little bit. Actually, no, we can talk about it now. It's just a simple thing that turns these, oops, whoa, that could have been really bad. It just turns these two gears on both sides the same direction. I'll show you what those are for in a little bit. And then another thing, which actually let me go put that alien pod in, and I'll show you what this is for. So I showed you this alien pod last week, and basically I told you I just wanted it to kind of drop out the bottom via some kind of pusher thing on the top, and it was full of studs when I showed you that, and I kind of dropped it, and I was glad that it didn't open. Well, I messed with it a little bit more, and it did open. As you can see, there's the studs right there, so that's why it's empty. But I did just kind of implement something. I'm going to do this right here and two back here so that we have all four drop pods, but it just drops it down. If you drop it far enough onto a hard surface, of course this is only like even less than like a pab cup drop, or about, it'll crack open and all these little studs will go everywhere to spread the friends plague across the galaxy. And now we can talk about this other thing also, which is basically, if you look at my design, which is buried under a bunch of pieces right here. Did I get it out? Ooh, perfect. I've got these two huge kind of like viper wings that come out the side. I'm gonna redesign the shape just a little bit, but I still want these just giant wings that come out both sides, and then like they like come out the side. I also want them to be either at a downward angle or at an upward angle. I haven't really decided. And then like shoot forward. That's just kind of like the design and look that I'm going for. And then another thing that I want them to be able to do is rotate in and kind of under these panels right here to just make it more like a dagger long like ship instead of having these giant wings coming out the side. So I was trying to mess with this, and I had a couple of ideas. I basically experimented with Technic for a really long time to try and get something that, you know, you would have this first section of the wing, I don't know how big it would be, and then you'd have the second section right here, and when you turn it, I wanted it to go into like one big, just straight thing. Of course, it's not locked. Oops, it almost fell. It's not locked in very well. But that's kind of what I wanted. But I think it wasn't working out too well, and I was spending way too much time trying to get that figured out. So right now, it's essentially just going to be like one giant, like L-shaped wing. It's going to be bigger than this. This is just like kind of my idea that will be turned via this gear right here under the ship. And I don't think I showed it very well, but I haven't messed with Technic too much, but I kind of got the gear comes up right here, and it connects with this gear well enough that it can turn even at an angle, and I thought that was just kind of cool. So either I'll have this angled up or down. I haven't really decided, just because these panels at the front are also going to be angled down, so I thought it might be kind of cool if you had like a contrasty look where it goes up in the back. Just an idea. But that's essentially where I'm at with this ship. There's still a lot to get done, and we're already over a third through the month, and there's a lot of building to do. So I'm going to try and work harder through the next week to get some stuff done. Of course, those Bricklink orders are coming in, so now I can start using the parts that are in those, and that's basically everything that I'm going to need for this ship. And then it'll be, hopefully I'll get it done within a reasonable amount of time. So far, everything is basically going pretty well, and you know, it flies, all that good stuff. 134 studs. Everything is pretty much going pretty well right now. It's rock solid, just like I wanted it, for swooshing capabilities and stuff. And yeah, so lots of things to get done with this ship. And I will see you guys in the next update, hopefully next week once some more stuff is done.